Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I am excited to be continuing with my reactions to H2O, Just Add Water. Currently we are on Season 1, Episode 9, Dangerous Waters, and Episode 10, The Camera Never Lies. And I'm gonna be honest, I probably know exactly what's gonna happen in these episodes as soon as I start them, but right now I have no idea what these two episodes are gonna be about. Like, these titles do not speak to me at all. They do not tell me what the episodes are going to be about at all. So, this is kind of exciting because, unlike last episode, last time, where it was very obvious exactly what we were going to be getting into, that being the moon stuff, where it influences the girls, and the Denman stuff. But here, it's just not clear. But still, I'm really excited. I've been really honestly enjoying watching the show even more than I thought I was going to, dude. It's like I was very hyped. I've been wanting to rewatch this show for a long time. Pretty much honestly since I started doing these reactions on my channel. Since I started my channel back in 2019, I've wanted to get into rewatching this show again. But I did not expect that this show was gonna hold up as well as it is, honestly. Because, like, so many of these shows that I'm covering on the channel, like, yeah, they're kind of fun, and I'm enjoying watching them and reliving my childhood or whatever, but not necessarily many of them are actually, like, compelling to watch, as compelling as they were when I was a kid. And honestly, after the first, like, two episodes of this show, after the first two episodes, it's honestly been all pretty good ones, like all pretty compelling and pretty interesting. Sure, some are better than the others, but I've been enjoying this show just so much. Everything from the acting to the writing to the soundtrack, which has been amazing. I goddamn love it. Like, I don't necessarily remember noticing how good the soundtrack of this show was when I was a kid, but goddamn did it stick with me for all these years. Because hearing just any of the tracks, any of the iconic themes of this show just brings me back to my childhood. And it's just so cool. I love it. I love everything about the show. It's so much fun. I really hope this quality holds through into season 2 and season 3 as well. And maybe I'm gonna even end up enjoying the Mako Mermaids series quite a lot as well. I don't know. But before we get into the reaction and find out how much I'm going to be enjoying these episodes, I do want to remind you that I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me out with my transition by donating to my Patreon or Ko-fi account, because for those of you who didn't know, I am trans. And by doing so, you can also get a full-on version of this reaction and all the reactions that I offer on the channel, that I do on the channel, which includes cartoons, short live-action TV series like this one, long live-action TV series like Ghost Whisperer, and movie full-on reactions. Alternatively, you can also just simply like the video and just watch the YouTube version, but it is appreciated if you make the extra step of supporting me. Anyway, enough chit-chat about things you don't care about. Let's just get into the reaction to Season 1, Episode 9, Dangerous Waters in 3, 2, 1. God, I love watching this show so much. It genuinely brings me back to my childhood, man. Did her fish die?
I guess he was pretty old.
Oh, I remember that.
All the great times the two of us had together. I can't believe they're over. He was such a good fish.
Man, this takes me back to the times when I lost
just a fish.
so many pets, honestly. I had a really beautiful black cat. It was my second cat, but the first female cat that I ever had. And I was so close to it. Every time when I came back from school, I would lie in my bed just hugging it and lying with it. And it hurt me so much when she died. Especially because it was my fault.
Neither.
She hanged herself because I had put a thing around her neck. And she got stuck on like a fence and strangled herself.
It's not about you. You're not interested. You can be really self-centered sometimes.
Yeah.
So not true. Oh yeah? What was the fish's name?
Pluto?
Bubbles? I give up. Exactly.
At least Cleo has accepting friends who would comfort her with this. I didn't have that. In fact, pretty much everybody around me mocked me for being sad about my cat
Should we wait
dying.
for Ricky?
Burying your pets also honestly helps a lot
And now,
with dealing with their
return to
death.
the deep.
That's the only way that I've been able to deal with the death of so many of the pets that I've
Somehow I
lost.
couldn't sink.
Now I know it can't be easy losing your pet, Pluto, like that, so I got you this. Now, it's not an exact match, but the guy at the pet store said he'd be just as much fun to talk to. And I thought you could call him Pluto too, in honor.
Right. Thanks.
What? Okay, she's trying, guys. Why do you have to be assholes to Ricky right now?
Cleo collects saltwater fish, not freshwater.
Okay, how the fuck was she supposed to know that particular detail?
I know.
I mean, they do not look like
Maybe
sea
it's not
fishes,
designed
not
to
like
be
no like freshwater fishes, but still. Also, Cleo, can you not dress like a grandma, please?
I'm sorry. I didn't know about the saltwater thing. I should have. I didn't. What can I say?
That's okay. I know you're not good with the whole empathy thing.
Yeah, well...
Well, that's a shitty thing to say.
You think?
Oh yeah.
You mean I'm self-centered?
No. It's just that other people's feelings aren't really on your radar. But I'm not complaining. Sometimes I think I'm too worried about other people's feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both things can be bad, you know.
But I know you mean well, Ricky. That's the main thing. Right, guys?
Still, I think it's better to not give a shit about what people think than
They
to
think
give a
so.
shit what people think.
Oh,
So I still think Ricky is kind of in the right there, you
I'll
know?
try to be worthy.
There you go again.
And she's trying. It's not like she's completely ignorant of the fact that she's maybe a little too self-centered. Okay, that feels a little fucked up, Ricky, not gonna lie. Just capturing this fish and putting it in the confines of Cleo's little thing.
Nice.
Oh, it's this episode!
You wouldn't be willing to let us have that specimen there, would you?
No.
Sorry, it's got someone else's name on it.
It's a shame. Would have paid you a good price for it.
Don't get swayed, Ricky, please.
Thank you so much, Ricky. He's so cool. He's a little quieter than Pluto, but he'll settle in.
Oh, who wants a noisy fish anyway?
It's quite a rare specimen.
He's gorgeous.
Nothing but the best.
He must have gone to so much trouble. You can only get these fish from licensed breeders. He must
That's not where she got that, though.
Really? So how did you afford him?
Oh, easily. With a new job I got.
You got a job.
Yep.
Where?
Wait, did she buy that one? I thought she captured that one.
Pretty rare, hey?
Very. You know what else? This colour suits your eyes.
Yeah.
She's a fucking teenager and you're what, 30?
So where'd you get it? Hey, I just want to know it's not an endangered habitat.
It's not. You'll have to trust me.
Yeah, you're already fucking employing a
The
child.
marine...
I like the look. Did you win the lottery?
No, told you. Got a new job. Care to join me for some retail research, ladies?
Well, I'm broke, and I don't get paid till next week.
No worries. My treat. What are we waiting for?
Yeah. When somebody else pays, everything's possible, right? This is such a Disney Channel montage, by the way. It's funny because it used to air on
Next trip?
I think either the Disney Channel or Jetix might have been. Don't quite remember.
Just look out.
Okay, I saw like quite a few zeros, so he paid her like what, fucking $2,000?
What kind is it?
No, I know this fish.
Personally,
Yes. She looks great in blue though.
my supervisor knows everyone at the marine park, and there's no one by that name that works there.
Oh, this is bad.
Yep,
Told me
it
that.
is.
What?
Doesn't matter.
And you have no way of contacting him?
You're really living to that
Ricky,
blonde
he was
stereotype,
boss.
Ricky. Not gonna
I
lie.
wanted to ask
It
him
was a
about.
very casual arrangement, alright?
Maybe we shouldn't be wearing these clothes.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not sure if I feel comfortable wearing them out in public anymore. Yeah. Isn't there some sort of law about proceeds of crime?
Guys, I bought these clothes for you with good money. They're not stolen.
And also, like, it's not like the fish are getting killed, so it doesn't. It's not that bad.
I've tried every B. Rawlins in the phone book, and the only Barry is a 75-year-old and has a plastic hip.
That's not him.
Oh, he did only get it a couple of weeks ago.
Not him.
Back playing bowls already, he reckons. You sure he's not your dad?
Trust me, you must be feeling pretty stupid.
Jesus,
right now.
Lewis.
Well, okay.
I love it though. He's so funny. Dude, she looks so good. Are her eyes blue? I never noticed
Come
before.
on, Ricky. We need.
You two were happy enough letting me spend up big on you. You could have said something, but no.
Ricky, didn't you ever think there was something sus about him? I mean, not even once.
What can I say? He didn't look bad.
He was doing business out of the back of a boat, handing out.
So what? Not every shady business deal in the back of an alley is bad. Is actually like illegal or whatever. Stop shitting on Ricky. Jesus Christ, guys.
Hey, I'm sorry. At least you found out before you got into any real trouble.
Yeah, and you did make quite a good deal of money out of it. That's me being supportive.
This isn't about the money. He strung me along.
Oh, I love Lewis, man. I don't remember him being so
We've
funny.
probably done this loads of times.
This guy's a creep, and I'm gonna do something about it.
Like what?
And you're gonna get in trouble.
Just watch.
She's gonna be a badass. I think I remember that.
Just because she won't call the police doesn't mean we can't. Good idea.
One of the things the police will ask is how Ricky happened to come by the fish she sold this guy. What's she gonna say? Oh no, it's okay, trust me, I'm a mermaid.
I might have to bend the rules a little bit this one.
Dude, he's so funny. What the
Let's not
fuck?
overreact.
I love
So
it.
crazy.
I don't remember the show being this funny.
Sometimes she's crazy.
Sometimes she's really crazy.
Yeah. She's gonna do something stupid right now.
Did you really think I was that dumb?
No.
Well, you
I
were.
just thought I'd spare you the boring business details.
What, like you're a crook?
Hey, you've done all right. A lot better than flipping burgers for a living.
Oh, so that makes it alright to lie to me and manipulate me.
Let's go. No. Not yet. But she needs our help.
I don't think so. I'm sure all she wanted was a chance to show him what she really thought. And
No.
now that she has,
Nope.
she'll do the smart
She's
thing
gonna
and
do
realize the
something
best way to deal with
stupid
it is to contact
and
the
rash.
police or not.
Man, this show early on had a lot of like just crooks as villains. I'm pretty sure this is not even the last one. And the thing is, I don't think that's even just like a season 1 thing. I just think it's the most prominent during season 1. Whoops. What are you, a mob boss?
How'd you find this place?
Followed the smell.
Let me deal with her.
That's all right. You think this is funny?
Yes.
I've got way too much money invested here to let a dopey kid like you blow it.
Then maybe you shouldn't have fucking employed her.
Now, who else have you told about it?
Green peas.
Trust me, kid. This is no time to be joking.
I think it's a perfect time to be joking. If not in a time of crisis, then when are you supposed to joke?
You tell me where you found those fish and maybe I'll be nicer. I'm only going to ask you once, sweetheart.
And I'm only gonna tell you once. Don't call me sweetheart.
She's such a badass. I love her.
You'd be surprised how far out of my depth I can go.
Have it your way.
This guy is looking at her arm. He's seeing what she's doing. Like, come on.
I sense an accident waiting to happen.
It may, but not to me.
Yes,
Exactly to you.
to you.
Fuck you, burn in hell, bitch.
Switch way now.
That way. Definitely that way.
Thinking that direction. Who was it you were saying was out of their depth?
I guess I made a mistake.
I guess you made a big mistake.
Hell yeah! Okay, how do you explain that shit? Okay, now it's superheroes? Oh, this is so funny. I love it. So satisfying. You know, I feel like if this show was made today, it probably would be more superhero-ish like this.
Stay away from me.
Or what?
Get back. What is this?
Damn. I remember this. This is so badass.
We've made a fool of me, and we've made a fool of him. You've gotten even. Anything else you do is just you wanting to hurt someone. Is that who you are?
He deserves it. I always liked how she did this and then this.
As soon as I found out what was in the warehouse, I knew it'd be enough for the police.
They get what they deserve.
Yeah, but let's not make a habit of this, otherwise we're gonna end up in the newspapers. People say
Why not? It's pretty cool. Be superheroes. Use your powers for good. With great power comes great responsibility and all that. We gotta stick together. Okay. Pretty fun episode. I don't necessarily think it was quite as fun as the last two episodes. I think those were just more interesting, more cool, more funny. But still, this one was honestly not bad by any means. Like, I had a lot of fun. It was funny. It was interesting. It was impactful. I loved all the stuff with Ricky. Even though it feels a little bit like we're kind of redoing the same shit. Like last time when we focused on her, which... What episode was it even that we focused on her? I actually don't quite remember. But I think there was another episode that kind of focused on her a little bit. At least it feels like it. Like, we had it was the one episode where she was being harassed by Emma's brother, right? But I think there was another one or something. I don't know. The point is, I love her character, like I've said many times at this point, and I kind of love that we delved into it a little bit more, and we didn't necessarily really like develop it in any way, but I still like what this episode did with her character for the most part. It honestly just bothers me, the one thing that bothers me about it is how, I guess, stupid Ricky is when she meets that guy, and how easily swayed she is when it comes to like the offering of money in exchange for the fish, or I guess whenever she kind of like had the hots for him, like he had a crush on him because he's like an older, pretty man. Like, I get why they do things like this in these cartoons, because that's the kind of stuff that teenage girls fall for, you know? Like, teenage girls and women in general, from what I've seen, seem to fall for older guys. But personally, that I'm not big fan of that, and it doesn't really feel like it fits Ricky's character to me. So that's part of the episode that kind of bothers me about it a little bit. It just feels out of character for Ricky a little bit. Honestly, all things considered, I feel like, once again, if this show was made today, I feel like Ricky's 100% would have been LGBT. Because she really feels like an LGBT coded character to me. Because right now, as I'm watching this show, it doesn't really feel like right for her to fall for any guy in my eyes. Like, she really feels like a lesbian. I'm not saying that every character that is like an outsider like her or whatever needs to be like LGBT or whatever, but that's how it comes off. So yeah, I don't know. It is a cool character though, and yeah, it has a little bit of that like season one corniness to it, but I kind of dig that corniness at this point. And I don't think there was necessarily a time where I didn't dig it, but I know that some people might not be big fans of like corny stuff. Like I know that a lot of TV series, movies, whatever it may be from the early 2000s and even before that are frequently called out as like corny and cheesy or whatever. And the girls dealing with like generic crooks definitely kind of feels a little bit corny and dumb, I guess. But I think it kind of works for the most part because I feel like the way it's written and acted is pretty genuine and pretty sincere, and I think it works because the guy who played Barry did a pretty good job as a villain. Like, he was pretty compelling and interesting, and he had a decent charisma, you know. And on the side of the plot itself, I think it makes sense for the most part that that like somebody would be swayed by something like that. So, you know, it's pretty fun. I like it. It's a really fun plot. It's a really fun episode. But it's definitely not quite as entertaining as the previous two episodes because I feel like the last two episodes I think the reason why the last two episodes were really good was because they were dealing with like main story stuff, with the development of like the moon effect on the girls and with Denman. So that's definitely an aspect of those two episodes that improved them, whereas this one is just a random filler episode, you know, villain of the week, as it's usually called. And I think it works. Like, for what it is, I think it's pretty entertaining. And honestly, there's not really much more to ask off of this show at this point. I'm right now in the mood of like just having fun with the show and whatever it throws at me. I don't really care about it being like epic or like delving into the story stuff. I'm fine with getting some filler fun stuff. And yeah, obviously, as soon as we got into the episode, I really like remembered everything that was gonna be happening here, but I'm honestly happy that it still manages to entertain me because, as you might have seen in my Ben 10 reactions, remembering the episodes distinctly kind of drags them down for me. But funnily enough, I don't really have that issue when it comes to H2O. I don't know why, but despite the fact that I still remember them very well, I still have a lot of fun with it. I think it's because it still has like a lot of personality and a lot of humor, and the fact that Louis is so much more funny as a character than I remember him. I definitely do not remember him making these funny jokes ever before when I was a kid. Like, I don't remember him being this sarcastic, for example. And that's probably due to the language barrier, because when I watched this show originally, I watched it in my native language, which is not English. So things were obviously rewritten for that language, and they probably didn't bother putting a lot of personality into the words that they were translating. So that's why I guess his humor didn't like transfer. But I'm having a lot of fun with his constant sarcastic remarks, and I'm really liking him. And honestly, everything about the show so far is really, really fun. Like, even like some lesser episodes, kind of like this one, are still like really impactful and really interesting and really entertaining. And yeah, I wouldn't mind having more episodes where the girls deal with like criminals. Like, honestly, it's kind of a weird plot to kind of shove into this show when you think about it, because why would, like, where does the connection of teenage girls turning into mermaids fighting crooks come? Like, it's kind of like out of nowhere connection, but it is something that I'm pretty sure happens even as late as season 3, at least one episode. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to more episodes like these because they're always kind of fun, because they're just silly and corny, and I love it. And I love how badass Ricky was in this episode, and how she fucked with everybody, how they straight up fought them like superheroes. Like, that was honestly really, really cool. And how she was ready to like cook him and boil him. Like, I don't even understand why she got so offended. Because like, she stupidly fell for an obvious crook. Like, if it's anybody's fault, it's hers. And yet she was ready to kill him for it. Like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but it kind of came off more that she was pissed at herself, so she was taking it out on him, even on top on the fact that he's a bad guy and deserves to get boiled in that water. But yeah, still, really, really fun of an episode. In terms of a rating, I'm gonna give it a solid 8.3 out of 10. I really enjoyed this one. Obviously, like I said, not as cool or as impactful as the previous 2 episodes, but that is a given because it's a filler episode. And if you guys want to argue with me, oh, it's not filler because this doesn't have source material, whenever I say the word filler, in context to any of my reactions, I describe an episode that does not move the plot of the show forward, that doesn't deal with main story stuff. And this episode is just a random villain of the week. It doesn't deal with any lore connected to them as mermaids or any of the larger character narratives. So it is a filler episode by that definition. But we still don't know what next episode is going to be, whether it's going to be a plot-moving episode or whether it's going to be filler. So there's only one way to find out. So let's get into episode 10, The Camera Never Lies, in 3, 2, 1.
It's a short film contest. We make a short film. How hard can it be?
Last year they were
Why the hell do you
doing
care
2007
about that,
scenes over
Ricky?
minutes.
Okay, filmmakers, this year's theme is heroes. And
How fitting!
courtesy of Zane
We have
Starr,
3 superheroes
the
right
very
in the room.
generous and wealthy Dr. Harrison Bennett, this year's prize money has doubled.
Well, inflation is a
And Dr. Bennett
bitch.
himself,
So your dad's judging and sponsoring. Wonder who's gonna win?
If you're implying that you're an automatic loser, I'll second that.
Fuck you. That was a good comeback though.
Yeah, my dad, big hero. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, we get it. You have
No
daddy
idea
issues,
Dad was
Zane.
a hero. You must have been a tremendous disappointment to him.
Oh! Ouch!
So, if we're working
Okay,
together, we're gonna need to
you
make
guys
decisions.
deserved, both of you deserved that,
Guys,
honestly.
like, all the movies we
Those
need-
are some good comebacks from both of
Let's
them.
break this out.
You're never gonna win the prize money doing romance.
It's not about the money, it's about the art. About
Yeah,
this.
Ricky. Stop
This
being
video's
greedy.
choices had stories.
Didn't you learn your lesson from
Dark
last
Horse
episode?
Watch and
Hey, Dad, I got you something. No, Mrs. Goldstein is just a Botox treatment. In
The rich parent syndrome where they do not pay attention to their kid. Camp Rock did it,
Me.
so did this show, apparently.
You know, to break that record, I dodged stingrays, sharks, and total exhaustion. I broke it by 35 minutes.
I got the newspaper articles from the library archives. Took me hours.
Can't beat natural grace. This is great. You know, my record.
Come
will
on,
still
he
be
clearly
standing
wants
now.
some validation,
Someone
dude.
might break it.
Nobody will ever break my record.
Something tells me you didn't break it either.
Then.
I kind of feel bad for Zane, honestly.
What are you doing this year, Lewis?
I have no idea.
He's so funny without trying to be
We've only
funny.
got I think the film should be called My Mother.
Sounds riveting. A thriller?
Heroes aren't always pumped up super freaks who wear lycra and fly through the air, Ricky. And what's more,
Yeah, but
great
that's
heroes
what's
don't
fun
have
about
a
them.
always seen on screen.
And there's a reason for that.
Don't you think a whole 3 minutes on your mum might be a little what?
We
Self-indulgent?
No, self-indulgent. No,
boring.
no. Trust me, it'll be gold.
I agree with Ricky. We're working on the same wavelength.
And can you slip me another entry form?
So she's gonna do her own movie.
And so what drives you?
Drives me? I'm not really sure what you mean.
What are the primary forces that?
Emma, you're not really good at the artsy stuff. You're looking at it from a
Really?
boring
I
perspective.
guess it's-
Not gonna lie. from like a
You're
very
my children. You're
clinical
my age.
perspective.
Lewis?
I can't, man, I can't. He's so funny.
This.
You want to shoot underwater?
Yep, north side of Mako Island.
Ricky, have you any idea how many sharks are out there?
That's the idea. Sharks are a winning formula on film.
You want to film them?
Heroes of the deep. That's my idea. Think about it. I can get footage that no one else can get.
And how are you gonna
Right.
explain that?
No.
No.
At least explain yourself, Lewis. Because she doesn't take no for an answer. Man, it's such a shame that Mako Island is not a real thing.
I need an entry form for the competition. I've just had the best idea for a film.
Sorry, Zane, but you're not eligible.
You can't possibly think it would help me that he's on the panel.
Look, I'm sorry, but rules are rules.
That's kind of bullshit, honestly. I know what he's planning. He's gonna surf around Mako.
Lewis.
Hey, what?
Oh!
I know we haven't always seen things.
I remember this episode. I know what's gonna happen.
Whatever you want, the answer's no.
Let me break it down for you. I take my dad's original windsurfer. I reenact his trip around.
Is this the
Mako
first time that they're
Island.
actually gonna have to
Make
work
his
together?
record And you film the whole thing.
A reenactment. So it's not even original.
Ouch.
It's a tribute. Like
Okay.
Hillary's son climbing Everest. You'll be captured.
Lewis is a 10 out of 10. I swear, he's the best character.
Especially if I beat his record. You finish the film. My camera is yours.
Zane, my very, very close friend. Now we're talking.
He's so good. He's so good. I can't get over it. He's so good.
Camera.
Does this place not get fucking locked up? What the hell? How the fuck is he just able to get inside and steal it?
Alright. Let's do it.
It's kind of cool that they're working together now.
Come on, Lewis, move it!
Like, it shows that Lewis is not, like, beyond helping Zane. Like, he's not, like... Like, he can grow, and so can Zane. This is the first little bit of character development.
Maybe we could talk about what type of clothes you wore in the 70s or what type of food you ate.
Here's a thought. Maybe I should save tape while you figure out exactly what you want to talk about.
Good thing.
It's not that hard. Figure out.
The girl's friend is the
First, ask her the questions and then just regurgitate it, like repeat it for the camera. It's not that hard to do. Honestly, trying to do a movie, like a short movie, is something that I definitely want to try in the future.
When you're a junior lifesaver, you were obviously a good swimmer. Did you ever save anyone?
I was 12 and I saved a boy from the surf. He would have drowned.
Guess who though?
That's a wonderful story. Did you get a name? Is there any way we could contact him and follow it up? That'd be a really great moment in the film.
I'm sure he has forgotten all about it, and he's a fairly important person now, and I don't think he'd like it made public.
Please.
Did she save Zane's father?
Harrison Bennett.
Yup.
He was young, he got into difficulties, and I dragged him out. That's all there is to it.
There's some neat parallels going on.
What was that?
I don't know, a shark?
I can't see a thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're nowhere near. Uh-oh. Oh, little baby scared of sharks. Is he? I think you might be a little late there, Lewis. He sounds so pathetic. Yep, that's definitely gonna be the movie that's gonna win.
Help me, Shaq!
His voice is so squeaky, I love it. I mean, I get it, it's super fucking terrifying, but like... How the fuck is he not realizing that she's there? Like, it's so obvious. She's not that much further down. And also the water seems really shallow there. I love this soundtrack, dude. Especially this one. This specific one.
There were sharks everywhere. I thought it wasn't gone.
You okay?
He's definitely terrified.
I don't see anything.
Just get me out of here.
Okay. It is kind of weird when the bully turns out to be a pussy, you know?
There was a 20-foot shark out there, Dad. There were heaps of them.
Did you see anything?
Well,
I didn't think
He wasn't there, so...
Zane created this charade because he knew he couldn't really break
Oh,
rules.
fuck you!
Hi, Mum.
Honestly, I completely understand why Zane is as much of a piece of shit, seeing how his dad treats him.
It's my junior life-saving graduation certificate.
I tracked it down at the club. They still had it on file and I got it framed.
Aww.
Thank you, sweetheart.
We're ready to film when you are. Actually, I've decided to call it off.
Smart decision because the movie sucks.
We've talked about it, and we're going to help you no matter what we think personally.
Well,
Well,
it's okay.
Cleo, don't be that direct.
I think that real heroes don't need their stories turned into big productions. Sometimes it's better
True.
just to know the truth.
Sure.
Lewis, I need a favour.
Man, everybody uses Lewis.
Fantastic shark footage, and I have no idea how to cut it into a film. It's great stuff. It's so close you can almost touch them. So you're the expert. What do I do?
how are you going to explain how you shot it?
What?
Good question.
Well, if it's better than the professionals, how are you going to explain that without arousing suspicion?
Well, I was gonna... I mean, I could...
I swear, he's the smartest person in this show.
I can't show it, can I?
Nope. Oh, he kills me with every single fucking facial expressions. He's the best, I swear to God.
I think that's funny.
I think the audience is the best judge, Ricky.
I was there, Lewis. Who do you think's scared away the sharks who are about to eat him? Zane isn't acting.
For the second year in a row, a wonderful comedy, Lewis McCann.
Good job, Lewis. I feel bad for Zane, but it is a pretty good movie.
And winner of the Gold Starfish for Best Actor. Even with his father abstaining from the vote, Zane Bennett.
Pretty good actor, yeah. Let's see what he's gonna say.
Can I say, I'd like to donate the prize money to this establishment to compensate for any trouble I caused. And thanks for this award. But what can I say? The Bennetts are winners. Right, Dad?
Honestly, not bad. Great way to humanize him. I like this. This is cute. I love that.
You're good.
Acting, you mean?
No, the whole thing about surfing around Mako and everything else. Took guts.
Aww.
You're the only one who thinks so.
That means a lot to him. You can see it on his face. That was a really nice little moment between them. Okay. I definitely think this one is the better episode of the two. It's also clearly the more, like, important one. I'm not sure whether I wouldn't call it filler. I still kind of think for the most part it kind of constitutes filler, but there are definitely things about this episode that make it connect to other stuff, so it is somewhat important of an episode for the larger narrative of this show. Specifically because of that little final scene here between Zane and Ricky. The beginning of a beautiful relationship. That I can't wait to see and rewatch. Especially because, I mean, when I was a kid, I obviously could not, like, actually experience the depths of a relationship like that. I was a kid, I just enjoyed flashy stuff on TV. But now as an adult, I'm able to more, like, get into the meaty stuff of an emotional relationship like that. And if the rest of the relationship is anything like this little beginning, little moment here, I think I'm gonna love it, dude. Because, like, I don't know how to describe it. This show has so much depth and so much emotion. It genuinely might be my favorite show that I have covered on the channel right now. Because it just entertains all of my senses in such a way that no other show does. Like, everything about the show is great. The sound design is great. The visuals, pretty great. The characters, pretty great. The acting, pretty great. Everything is great. Like, it excels at everything. No other show, I feel like, excels at everything like this, you know? And sure, some might be more modern, others might be more flashy and more entertaining for a modern audience, because this is like 15 years old. But at the same time, for the time period that it is made in, and by the standards this show set for itself, I think it is a fucking 10 out of 10 all the time, you know? But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, focusing on Zane, who is a very flawed character in this show. I enjoyed seeing that focus. I didn't know how soon we were gonna get something like that, and I definitely remember another episode that focuses on him that I'm pretty excited about. But to me, I always like heel turns, I think is the term for it. Like when the bad guy in a show turns good. Those kind of characters are kind of always my favorite. Like I always like a jerk with a heart of gold kind of character, or an asshole who grows to be a good person. That's why, for example, Daryl in The Walking Dead is my favorite character, because he's exactly that. An asshole who becomes a great man. And in the case of the show, that's also why I enjoy Ricky so much. Why she's my favorite out of the girls. Because she is a little bit of an asshole as well. Like, she is self-centered. He's kind of a jerk sometimes. And not only do I relate a little bit, actually quite a lot to her, but also because she is kind of a little bit of a jerk with a heart of gold. Because, yeah, she's a jerk to a lot of people who she's not close with, but if you're really close to her, she is the nicest person ever. And as you can clearly see that in this final scene between Zane and her, you know? And I just really love the kind of relationship that they have. I'm very pissed about the way it goes later on. Although I don't want to spoil anything further than that, if you guys are watching this show for the first time with me, which I don't expect many of you to be doing that, but if there are any. So there's that about it, but this early on, I think it's a great relationship. And I don't know, something about that moment between the two of them just felt really touching. And it felt like it touched me in the heart, you know? Because it's like, I relate to both of them in that situation in a way, you know? Because, like, I relate to the experience of, like, feeling inadequate to, like, either your family or people who want more of you, like think you should be better. Like I relate to the feeling of inadequacy and being in the shadow of somebody else. I definitely know that feeling. And I know the feeling of like being like made fun of in public. Like I feel bad for him. I sympathize with him. And him going on his own at the docks to basically sulk about it. I relate to that as well. In the years that I was bullied in school, I have had many times where after like having some kind of fight when I was home or something along those lines, I would just go walk in the forest and just kind of soak and either cry or just be depressed about it. So I relate to that experience, and I love the genuineness in Ricky's words towards him, that he was brave for doing what he did. It really touched him because he also doesn't expect her to say like that, and because she's the only one who actually said that to him, that probably also impacted him a lot. But I just love that little intimate moment between the two of them. I think it was really nice, and I can't wait to see more of their friendship and relationship and everything going forward. But yeah, this one is definitely the better one of the two, for sure. So I gave last episode 8.3 out of 10. For this one, we are definitely going a straight 9 out of 10. Because while I remember the thing with the sharks being a little different, like I remember it being more bombastic and more over the top, although I might be confusing this with some other episode dealing with somebody running away from sharks. Other than that, I think it was exactly as I remember the pieces of this episode, you know? Because I started remembering it at a certain point. And I think it was a lot of great fun, a lot of character building with Zane especially. That's the biggest reason why I enjoyed this episode, the character building with Zane. Sure, we also have like the funny moments every time that Louis is on screen, but Zane is definitely the core of this episode and what makes it good. Seeing him kind of walk up to Louis and ask him for help, and having him talk to Ricky at the end there and her defend him and like praise him. He very much needed that there, and I love that it shows his growth in a way, especially with those kind of like back and forth insults in the beginning of the episode. I think it's pretty good, and I feel like he's definitely going to be a little bit of a changed man after this, at least from what I remember. So there's that as well. So, those were the two episodes. Again, overall, not as fun as the previous two, but I still enjoyed these two, especially the latter. And I definitely didn't see both of these episodes focusing so heavily on Ricky as well, so that was kind of a surprise. But I had a lot of fun with these two episodes, and I'm curious, what do you guys think about them? So comment those down below, and let's have a discussion about this. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 4 patrons on Patreon: Omar Bridgman, Deadpool, Corvidet, and Drew. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me, have continued to support me in such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. Another thing that I also want to tell you guys before we end this video is something about me that some of you may or may not already know. That will also explain why do I look and dress the way that I do in my videos. That thing being the fact that I am trans. In particular, I am somewhere between a non-binary person and a trans woman, though I am unsure at the moment and probably won't be sure until I talk to a professional who deals with trans people. But that is where the reason why I'm telling you all this comes. I need your help. Due to the fact that I live in a homophobic and transphobic Eastern European country, with a family that won't really ever accept the fact that I'm trans if they ever found out, it's not really feasible or easy for me to transition here with minimal to no repercussions. So that's why I would really appreciate any kind or any amount of support that you guys can give me with this. That said, I don't want to guilt trip you or anything. I don't want you to feel like you have to help me. So if you don't want to or you don't have the means to help out, that's okay. Don't feel bad. I just want you to know that it would be greatly appreciated if you did help me get out of this situation. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask me, and thank you for hearing me out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Coffee account, where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with someone who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!